My wife's secret affair across the hall, true story. They say cheating doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts with a look that lingers too long, a laugh that feels too personal, or a message sent at a time it shouldn't be. But before all that, it starts with silence, the kind that creeps in between the cracks of a routine that once felt safe. Ryan Carter, 35, wasn't the jealous type. He wasn't insecure, needy, or the kind of man who questioned where his wife was every hour of the day. He was, by all modern standards, a good man, dependable, consistent, well-groomed, emotionally intelligent, and employed. The kind of husband you don't see in movies anymore because he's too boring to be dramatic. He loved routine because routine gave him control. In a world where the economy crashed, friends divorced, and politics divided families, routine was Ryan's refuge. Wake up at 6, gym, protein shake, power shower. Kiss Vanessa goodbye. Into the city. Run the team. Deliver results. Rinse, repeat. Vanessa Carter, 32, was his opposite. She lived in gradients, not schedules. Her laughter could change a room. Her presence was velvet, soft, sensual, mysterious. When she moved, people noticed. When she smiled, people leaned in. And when she entered a new office, he noticed her too. But that comes later. Back then, Vanessa still kissed Ryan goodbye, still called him babe over morning coffee, still laughed at his dry jokes, even if the light in her eyes had started to dim. When she landed a new job at a boutique marketing agency, Ryan celebrated, took her to her favorite rooftop restaurant, gave her a handwritten note that said, "This next chapter is yours. I'm proud of you." She smiled, said she loved him, held his hand across the candlelit table. But behind her lashes, something had already shifted. She didn't feel seen anymore. She didn't feel wanted. Not because Ryan didn't love her, he did, but because he loved her with logic, with plans, with grocery lists and Google Calendar invites. What she craved was danger. What she missed was fire. And just across the city, behind a sleek glass office, wearing a tailored navy suit and a smirk that meant trouble, fire was waiting. It was still weeks away from igniting. But in that moment, as Vanessa reapplied lipstick in the bathroom mirror and Ryan paid the bill, the match was already struck. The next morning, Ryan kissed her goodbye. He didn't notice her phone vibrate twice, didn't hear her sigh as she turned the screen over and smiled. Just like every other morning, he believed the lie that everything was okay. Because when betrayal first enters your home, it doesn't kick the door down. It slips through the cracks. Quiet, warm, familiar. And that's how Ryan's story began. Not with infidelity, but with a feeling. The kind of feeling that sits in your chest like a warning bell you don't want to hear, until it's screaming. And by then, it's already too late. Se estiver pronto. Digitar para o capitulo ar expandido. The wife with the hidden flame, oya me digase desea ajustar algo antes de continuar. The wife with the hidden flame. Vanessa had always known she was desirable, but lately she had forgotten why. Marriage has a way of softening things. Edges, desires, curiosity. You start trading passion for peace. And peace, while beautiful, can also become a prison when you're someone who was born for chaos. At 32, Vanessa still turned heads without trying. She didn't just walk into a room, she arrived. Glossy dark hair, subtle curves wrapped in perfectly tailored dresses, a voice that could switch between boardroom sharp and bedroom low. She wasn't flashy. She didn't have to be. She was the kind of woman people remembered. But Ryan, he had stopped looking at her that way. He loved her, yes, paid the mortgage, remembered her birthday, bought almond milk because she preferred it in coffee. But he hadn't touched her with urgency in months. Hadn't studied her body like he used to. And when she finally told him she got the job at the marketing agency, that boutique firm downtown with the high-end clients, his reaction? A nod. Hey, that's great, babe. Then he went back to his laptop. That was the moment something in her cracked. She didn't want a safe life. She wanted a burning one. So when she walked into the sleek office of Vail Strategies, heels clicking like declarations of intent, she didn't expect to feel what she felt. A rush, a current, a jolt. And at the center of it, Cole Maddox, Director of Brand Strategy. 38, broad shoulders, perfect beard, smile like sin wrapped in charm, divorced. No kids, knew it, owned it, wore confidence like cologne, the kind you can't unsmell. Their first meeting was harmless. He introduced himself, gave her a tour, cracked a joke about her handwriting being illegal in 5 states. She laughed. But it was the way he looked at her, not just at her face, but into her, that made something inside her flicker. By week 2, they had inside jokes. By week 4, He sent her a song at midnight. This made me think of you. She didn't respond, but she saved the song. By week 6, she wore lipstick to meetings she didn't used to. By week 8, they were the last two in the office on a Friday night. She wasn't drunk, not in the traditional sense, but something had definitely lowered her guard. Maybe it was the soft jazz playing over his office speakers. Maybe it was the bottle of Merlot he opened just to celebrate Q2. Maybe it was the way he leaned in to read. Her screen, lips dangerously close to her neck, and didn't pull away. The kiss wasn't planned, but neither was the moan. It was slow, tense, electric, like kissing someone you know you'll sin for again. Vanessa pulled back, breathless. We shouldn't, Cole smirked. That's what makes it interesting. She didn't go home right away that night. And when she finally did, she stood under the shower for 20 minutes, washing off the sweat, the guilt, the perfume that wasn't hers. Ryan was asleep, peaceful, clueless. She slipped into bed next to him. He stirred, half asleep. Good day? She swallowed hard. Just the usual. The man who had it all except the truth. Ryan Carter believed in two things: loyalty and logic. He wasn't the man who scrolled through phones, questioned every smile, or tracked locations. That was beneath him, or so he thought. He was stable, successful, married. From the outside, he had it all. But what no one told him was this: you can have everything and still be completely blind. He hadn't noticed the shift. Not at first. Vanessa still said, "I love you," still sent heart emojis, still laughed at his corny texts, though now those laughs were more read and forgotten than felt and real. The truth is, when you've built your entire identity around being the good guy, you don't prepare for betrayal. You don't even consider it, but betrayal doesn't care about your character. It bleeds through the cracks of trust like poison. The first crack came on a random Tuesday. Ryan got home earlier than expected. A canceled meeting. Free afternoon. He thought he'd surprise Vanessa with takeout from her favorite Thai place and maybe, finally, some overdue intimacy. But when he walked in, she wasn't home. Nothing suspicious, until he noticed her iPad glowing on the counter. Unlocked. Open. And then it buzzed. A message. From someone saved only as C. Couldn't focus during the meeting. That skirt should come with a warning. Ryan blinked. His chest tightened. He picked up the iPad. The conversation was vivid, bold, sexual. Hundreds of messages. Late-night voice notes, memes, private jokes, inside references he didn't recognize. Then came the photos. Vanessa, in outfits Ryan had never seen. At places she said she never went. With expressions he hadn't earned in months. He couldn't breathe. This wasn't just flirtation. This wasn't a one-night mistake. It was a full-blown secret relationship. Born from desire, fed with lies, protected by routine. He scrolled further. Let's book that weekend. I need you again. After that last meeting, he has no idea. Does he? No, he didn't. Until now. Ryan set the iPad down, walked to the bathroom, and stared at himself in the mirror. Same face, same skin, but something was gone. The version of him that believed her, dead. That night, Vanessa came home humming, kissed him like always, told him she was exhausted from client calls. He nodded, smiled, because now he was done being blindsided. He didn't confront her. Not yet. He needed more. More proof, more strategy. Because this wouldn't just be about exposing the affair. It would be about showing her and him just how much a quiet man could do when pushed too far. And Vanessa? She had no clue what was coming next. She lied to his face. She stood in the doorway, soaked in golden hour light, hair still wet from a shower that lasted too long. Vanessa looked like temptation wrapped in routine, the kind of beauty that could convince a man the world was still okay. And Ryan? He was sitting at the kitchen counter, calm. Too calm. He had spent the last 48 hours replaying every moment from the last few months. Every fake laugh. Every late meeting. Every time she said, "I'm just tired." He knew. And she had no idea. "Hey babe," she said, tossing her keys in the bowl like nothing had happened. "Long day." Ryan nodded. "Yeah? Clients are being insane. I might have to go in early tomorrow. Cole wants a meeting before the team check-in." Cole. She said his name so casually, like he wasn't the man she was sleeping with behind Ryan's back. Ryan leaned in, expression unreadable. "You talked about him a lot lately." She paused for half a second. "Do I?" That's when he saw it. The micro-flinch. the glitch in her performance. He smiled gently. Must just be me imagining things. She laughed, forced, airy, the kind of laugh you use to bury guilt. Ryan's stomach turned, but his face stayed cool. She was lying. Not just once, every single day. Later that evening, she curled up beside him on the couch, scrolling through TikTok like nothing was wrong. She rested her head on his shoulder. "I love nights like this," she said softly. Ryan looked down at her. "Me too." What he wanted to say was, "I know you slept with him in a conference room 3 weeks ago. I've read your messages. I've heard your voice notes. I saw the lingerie in his hotel room in your selfie. I know everything." But he didn't. Because now wasn't the time for rage. It was time for calculation. He needed her to believe she was still safe, still clever, still getting away with it. Because the longer she lied, the deeper the proof would go. And the more satisfying it would be when it all came crashing down. The next morning, Vanessa left early, claiming she had a presentation. Ryan followed 5 minutes later to a coffee shop nearby. From there, he logged into the synced iPad. The texts were already coming in. "Loved last night. Still wearing your cologne, you taste like sin. V. I want more." Ryan screenshot everything. Every emoji, every dirty detail. Every time she said he has no idea, he had every receipt. And yet she still came home every night with a kiss, a laugh, and another lie wrapped in red lipstick. It wasn't just betrayal, it was performance. And now Ryan was no longer the audience. He was the director. And this script was about to take a turn no one saw coming. Se este ver pronto, digit 5 para continuar como capítulo wu expandido, setting the trap. O you me diga se deseja alterar algo, setting the trap. Some men scream when they're betrayed. Others drink, cheat back, burn everything to the ground in a fit of broken ego. But Ryan Carter, he plotted. Not out of revenge, but out of principle. If she was going to risk their marriage, their vows, his sanity, then he wasn't just going to catch her. He was going to document the entire lie. By now he knew everything, the flirty messages, the late-night meetings, the hotel room stories Vanessa had fabricated with surgical precision. But what Ryan had that she didn't? Patience. He moved like a man on Wall Street watching a stock crash. Not panicked, but strategic. He didn't confront her. He didn't explode. He upgraded their home Wi-Fi, installed a discreet home security hub with a backup cloud. Then came the hard part, recording her without her knowing. He synced the devices. Her iPad now ghost-linked to his old phone. Every iMessage, every iCloud photo, every note in real time. He placed a micro voice recorder in her car. Between the seat and the center console, she'd never find it. She was too busy reapplying lipstick and texting C. In their bedroom, he mounted a minimalist camera, hidden behind a hollowed-out decorative book. It captured everything, even how she'd wake up smiling, and text him, the other him, while Ryan slept beside her. The final piece? Cole's schedule. He began following him. Once, twice. Never enough to be noticed, just enough to learn. And then the opportunity fell into his lap. A message from Vanessa, delivered at 10:47 p.m. "He's working late Thursday. Come over. Bring the wine. I need you." Ryan read it, standing in the bathroom, brushing his teeth with the same hand that held her wedding ring the day he proposed. She never imagined the trap was already set. Thursday came. Ryan left the house in his usual suit. Told her he had a team dinner. Vanessa kissed him goodbye a little too cheerfully. "Might just have wine and watch Netflix," she said. He nodded. He drove a block away, parked, and waited. At 7:11 p.m., Cole's car pulled up. Black Audi, tinted windows, predictable. Ryan watched from behind the wheel, breathing slowly. Cole buzzed up. Door opened. He entered. Ryan waited 7 minutes, just long enough for clothes to come off and boundaries to disappear. Then he moved. Every step toward the apartment was deliberate. Every heartbeat felt surgical. He unlocked the door. The scent hit him first. Vanessa's favorite perfume mixed with cologne that wasn't his. Soft jazz played from the Bluetooth speaker. Their speaker. He stepped into the hallway, and there it was. Her moan. Raw. Real. Familiar, but not for him. The trap had worked. She was caught. Not in theory. Not in suspicion. In action. Ryan didn't barge in. He adjusted the hidden camera to ensure it captured her face when she saw him, because that was the real moment he wanted. Not the affair, the exposure, caught red-handed. The door creaked open, but neither of them heard it. Vanessa was too busy pressed against the couch, fingers tangled in Cole's shirt. her blouse unbuttoned just enough to reveal the same lace Ryan had bought her for their last anniversary. The one she claimed was too tight to wear. Now it hugged her body perfectly for another man. Cole's lips were on her neck, his voice low and hungry. "You taste like you were made for trouble," Vanessa giggled. And then, silence. She froze. Something, a shift in air, a movement just beyond her line of sight made her open her eyes. Standing in the doorway, calm and steady like the final scene of a courtroom drama, was Ryan, still in his navy suit. No raised voice, no clenched fists, just one hand in his pocket and the other holding a remote. A red LED on the camera shelf blinked silently, recording. Vanessa's body jolted upright. She grabbed the nearest cushion like it could shield her from the undeniable collapse of everything she thought she was hiding. "Ryan," she gasped, but he raised a hand. "Don't. Just don't." Cole stood, shirt half off, scrambling for excuses he hadn't rehearsed. "Listen, man, it's not what it looks like." Ryan turned to him slowly. "You walked into my home, seduced my wife, drank my whiskey, used my couch. So tell me, what exactly does it look like to you?" Cole opened his mouth. Ryan cut him off again, calm as ice. "Because to me it looks like you just lost your job." He pointed at the blinking camera. "Your boss will love this, especially with Vanessa being part of the marketing team. Might violate a few dozen company policies." Vanessa's lips trembled. "Ryan, please." "It wasn't supposed to," he laughed. "Once. Cold." "Supposed to what?" Happened this many times? Happened here? Happened on camera? You've said everything to him. And nothing to me." Tears welled up in her eyes. Not guilt. Fear. Cole grabbed his jacket. "I'm out," he muttered, bolting for the door like a coward escaping a crime scene. Vanessa moved toward Ryan slowly. "I messed up. I know. But," he stepped back. "This isn't a conversation anymore. It's a case file." He reached into his coat and pulled out a slim black folder. Inside, screenshots, transcripts, bank statements, and printouts. Already sent to my lawyer in HR. And just for fun, to your mother. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. He stared at her, taking in the woman he once loved. Now wrapped in shame, lingerie, and a couch she didn't deserve. "You know what hurts the most?" he said. "It's not the sex, not the lies. It's that you thought I wouldn't find out. That you thought I was that blind." Vanessa fell onto her knees, the full weight of her double life crushing down. "Ryan, I don't want to lose you," but it was too late. She hadn't just lost him. She had burned the bridge, the map, and the compass, all in one night. Ryan walked past her, slow and silent, the camera still rolling behind him. Because this was just the beginning. The explosion behind closed doors. The door slammed shut behind Ryan with a finality that echoed down the hallway. Inside, Vanessa's world shattered in silence. The perfume in the air no longer smelled like seduction. It reeked of exposure. She sat on the couch, half-dressed, hair wild, mascara bleeding, chest heaving with panic. The same space where she once sipped wine and whispered fantasies to Cole now felt like a crime scene. And Ryan? He didn't go far. He waited outside, calm, breathing, letting it all sink in. He didn't want her to chase him. He wanted her to feel it. Every second of the shame, every heartbeat of the panic, every echo of the collapse. He gave her 15 minutes. Then he walked back in. Vanessa hadn't moved. She looked up, her eyes wide with disbelief. "You came back." Ryan didn't answer immediately. He locked the door behind him, walked to the bar cart, poured a glass of the same whiskey Cole had just touched, and threw it down the sink. Then he turned to her. "You want to talk? Let's talk." Her voice cracked. "I didn't plan this, Ryan." "Really?" he asked, stepping closer. "So the texts, the voice notes, the calendar blocks labeled strategy review, those just happened?" She stood, trembling. "I was lonely. You were always working. You stopped looking at me the way you used to." His jaw clenched. "So you replaced a marriage with a man who calls himself Big Strategy in Slack threads." She looked away. Ryan stepped closer. "Do you know how long I knew?" Vanessa's eyes flicked back. 3 months. 3 months. She collapsed onto the ottoman, hands on her face. He continued, voice rising for the first time. "I read your fantasies. I saw the pictures. I heard the moans. You didn't just cheat, you choreographed it. You scheduled betrayal. Ryan, you told him you loved him." Silence. That hit harder than a slap, because even she hadn't remembered saying it. He stepped back, breathing heavy now. "I would have forgiven a mistake. But this was methodical. This was rehearsed. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I was stupid. I wanted to feel wanted. Ryan's voice dropped. You were already wanted. You just stopped noticing. She tried to grab his hand. He pulled away like her touch was toxic. I want to fix this, she begged. You want to fix you, he snapped. And that has nothing to do with me anymore. She sobbed now. Not quietly. Ugly, guttural, animal sobs. But Ryan didn't flinch. He walked into the bedroom, grabbed a duffel bag, tossed in only what he needed: laptop, documents, clothes. When he returned, Vanessa was on the floor, pleading, "Don't go, please. Don't leave me." He looked at her one last time. No. You left me the second you let him touch you. And with that, he walked out. No goodbye. No door slam. Just the echo of a man who had turned his pain into precision. And Vanessa? She wasn't grieving the man she lost. She was grieving the mask that finally fell. Because now she'd have to face who she really was. Alone. Digite para continuar como capítulo ba expandido. Aftermath and hidden agendas. You me digase deseja ajustar algum detalla. Aftermath and hidden agendas. Vanessa didn't sleep that night. She lay in their bed, her bed now, staring at the ceiling, replaying every lie, every kiss, every moment she thought she had control. But control was a fantasy. And now reality was knocking at her door like a process server with a vengeance. Ryan hadn't just walked away, he had vanished. No texts, no calls, no angry voicemails, nothing. He went from husband to ghost in a single night, and the silence was suffocating. The next morning, her inbox greeted her with chaos. Urgent. Regarding conduct concerns, compliance request, company phone audit. Notification of pending suspension. Internal review in progress. HR had received everything. The video, the screenshots, the voice recordings. Even the calendar invitations titled Strategy Touchpoints. Ryan had forwarded everything with timestamps and notes. Her body went cold. It wasn't just a scandal, it was a corporate disaster. Vanessa Carter, former rising star. Now, ethics case number 4108203. She called Cole. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Blocked. Her chest tightened. She had sacrificed her marriage, her dignity, and now her career for a man who wouldn't even pick up the phone. And Ryan, he was nowhere, at least not to her, but he was everywhere else. That same day, a new blog post went live under a pseudonym. Title, I caught my wife's office affair. Here's how I took everything without saying a word. It went viral in less than 6 hours. Reddit exploded. Support groups shared it like wildfire. Podcasts picked up the story. TikTok creators dramatized it in skits. And the comments? This is how you expose a cheater with class. He didn't react, he executed. The best revenge is a well-documented truth. Vanessa read it twice, then a third time. It was Ryan's voice, subtle, calm, brutal. He had left out names but not details. And worst of all, he wasn't angry, he was finished. She picked up her phone to message him, typed out a long, painful apology. Deleted it, typed again. Please, can we talk? No response. The next day she got a letter from his attorney. Notice of intent to divorce. Property freeze. Asset review. Full custody of their dog. She couldn't even cry anymore. Because now she wasn't the betrayed, she was the cautionary tale. And Ryan? He wasn't coming back. He wasn't even looking back. Because he knew something she hadn't realized yet. When a woman risks everything for someone who gives her nothing, the only one left with power is the man who walks away without needing to destroy her. Because she already did that herself. The silent bomb. Destruction doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes it's packaged in silence, unfolds in emails, in forwarded voice notes, in legal documents stamped with cold authority, and that's how Ryan Carter operated. He wasn't the man who posted receipts out of bitterness. He was the man who let them implode on their own. While Vanessa spiraled, jobless, humiliated, blocked by the same man she gambled everything for, Ryan was busy pressing buttons she never knew existed. The first was Cole's wife. Yes, Cole was married. Not legally separated. Not in a complicated situation. Fully married. Ryan found her through a social media post. Her page was private, but her email, listed under a PTA directory because betrayal always forgets the digital footprint. He sent her a folder. Subject line, you deserve to know. Inside, screenshots, date-stamped videos, hotel receipts, audio recordings with clear identifiers, a detailed timeline. Within 36 hours, Cole's world collapsed. His wife filed for divorce, froze his accounts, served him legal papers at his own office. Ryan didn't stop there. Veil Strategies, the boutique agency where Vanessa and Cole worked, received a copy of the evidence, not through gossip, not through HR, through a formal legal complaint copied to the board of directors, citing gross misconduct, abuse of power, and reputational risk. The company had no choice. Cole, placed on indefinite leave. Vanessa, suspended pending internal investigation. Reputation, burned through LinkedIn, Slack, and Glassdoor by anonymous leaks and forwarded evidence. It wasn't revenge. It was accountability, executed with precision. And Ryan? He never raised his voice, never showed his face. He didn't even speak. The bomb had been ticking for weeks. He just chose the day it went off. Vanessa saw it all unfold. Cole's number disconnected. Her inbox flooded with HR demands. Her friends gone silent. And then, the final blow. Ryan's blog post, reposted by a national relationship coach. It reached 1.2 million views in 24 hours. The comments were merciless. Cheaters never prosper, but this is how you end them. No violence, no screaming, just execution. If she begged, let her drown in it. Vanessa sat in her kitchen, sipping cold coffee, staring at her phone like it was haunted. She had lost everything, but more than the job. It's more than Cole. She lost the only person who ever truly loved her. And now, he wasn't just gone, he had rebuilt himself in her ruin. Because Ryan understood something few men in his position ever do. Sometimes the loudest revenge ... is absolute silence. And Vanessa, she could still hear it ringing. Digit 10 parasegrio.com o capitulo si expandido. The final blow o me digase desea inserir algo es pacifico. Vanessa thought it was over. The exposure, the divorce, the career fallout. She had accepted in her own twisted way that she deserved the punishment. But she underestimated Ryan again, because Ryan wasn't done. Not yet. He had played the long game so well that even she couldn't see how deep his strategy ran. The emails to Cole's wife? Just the beginning? The HR reports? Only phase 1. Ryan had something else. Something she forgot existed. While she was too busy texting Cole, laughing behind Ryan's back, and planning hotel rendezvous, she had vented to her friends through voice notes. Voice notes that were synced to shared cloud folders. Folders Ryan still had access to, and inside one of them, a voice recording Vanessa had no idea would destroy her completely. Honestly, I don't even feel guilty anymore. Ryan's so ... basic, I feel like I'm playing house with a Labrador. But Cole? God. That man knows how to make me feel like a asterisk-ing woman. Pause. And if Ryan ever finds out, I'll cry a little, fake it a lot, and walk away with half. Not stupid. Time-stamped. Dated. Saved. And Ryan, he saved that recording for the right moment. And that moment was the final hearing. Vanessa showed up to court in a beige blazer and watery eyes, playing the role of remorseful wife, claimed emotional instability, asked for a fair settlement, pleaded for leniency. Her lawyer argued for spousal support, claimed emotional abuse through cold withdrawal after the affair, said Ryan's online shaming had ruined her life. Ryan stayed quiet until it was his turn. He handed a flash drive to the judge. No speech, no drama. Just a simple statement. Play recording 3. The courtroom fell still. Vanessa's voice filled the air, venomous and confident. When the recording ended, she couldn't breathe. Her lawyer looked stunned. The judge raised an eyebrow. Ryan leaned forward softly. I don't want revenge. I want truth. And this is who she really is. The ruling? No alimony, no asset division. Vanessa ordered to pay legal fees for filing in bad faith. And Ryan? He walked out not just legally free, but morally bulletproof. Outside the courthouse, reporters waited. Ryan didn't stop for them, but that afternoon he posted one final blog. Title, She Planned to Walk Away with Half. I let her walk away with the truth within 2 hours. It hit the front page of Reddit. Cole's wife shared it anonymously with the caption, "This is what composure looks like." And Vanessa? She didn't even cry anymore. She just stared at her phone, her reputation incinerated, her future uncertain, and realized something no apology could fix. She had betrayed the one man who would have burned the world down for her, if she had just been honest. But now, she was the one in ashes. And Ryan? He was already rebuilding on the other side. Burned bridges and open scars. When the dust of a scandal settles, it never really disappears. It lingers in whispers, in demis, in unanswered calls. And for Vanessa Carter, the silence was worse than any scream Ryan could have unleashed. The bridge was gone. The marriage was over. The job terminated. The affair ghosted. But the scars? Those don't vanish. They etched themselves into memory. For days she tried. First the texts. "I messed up. Please talk to me. You don't understand how lost I was. I still love you." Left unread. Then the voicemails. Crying, begging, sometimes angry, sometimes sweet. Always ignored. Finally, the email. A long, rambling confession filled with half-truths and convenient rewrites of history. She ended it with, "I know I can never undo what I did, but maybe we can start over as friends. You're still my soulmate." Ryan didn't even open it. His lawyer forwarded it to spam. Because Ryan had already chosen something she couldn't grasp. He wasn't her safety net anymore. He wasn't her sounding board. And he sure as hell wasn't her soulmate. He was the man who survived her betrayal and became stronger because of it. Meanwhile, Ryan was moving differently. The blog had blown up, his story was everywhere. Podcasts wanted him, support groups praised him. Strangers called him the man who kept his cool when the world would have understood if he snapped. But even in his rising spotlight, scars remained. Nights where sleep didn't come. Moments in the gym where anger turned his veins to fire. Times he remembered her laugh, her eyes, her promises, and felt the sting all over again. Scars don't vanish. They become part of you. One night, Ryan stood in his new apartment, minimalist, quiet, safe. He looked at his reflection in the mirror. The same face, same body, but the man staring back? Different. Hardened. Sharper. A man who knew exactly what betrayal looked like when it wore lipstick and smiled at him across the dinner table. And Vanessa? She sat in her old apartment, now hers alone, scrolling endlessly, watching Ryan's story spread online. Every blog post, every podcast mention, every TikTok retelling of her downfall, her name wasn't in them. But everyone in their circle knew, and the whispers cut deeper than any headline. She thought about calling again, about showing up at his new place, about throwing herself at his mercy. But she didn't, because deep down she knew the truth. He wasn't hers anymore. She hadn't just lost Ryan, she had lost the man who would have forgiven her, healed her, fought for her. Now, all she had was the version of him she created through her lies, the one who walked away without looking back. The bridge was gone, the scar was permanent, and the echo of her choices would follow her forever. Digit char para o capitulo char expandido, the cliffhanger, the end that changed everything. O wu mi digase desea inserir algo extra antis do final. The cliffhanger, the end that changed everything. The gavel hit the wood, and with it, Ryan Carter's marriage was officially over. No alimony, no settlement, no sympathy for Vanessa's tears. The courtroom emptied, but the weight of what had just happened lingered in the air like smoke after a fire. Ryan walked out, shoulders straight, jaw firm. He wasn't the same man who once believed love was a fortress. Now, he was the man who had watched that fortress collapse and somehow learned to build skyscrapers out of the rubble. Vanessa's fall, Vanessa leapt through the side exit, sunglasses on, trying to hide the swollen eyes that no makeup could mask. Her phone buzzed endlessly, not with sympathy but with whispers. Friends she thought she could count on had turned cold. Some blocked her. Others texted only once. Saw the story. Don't drag me into this. She had lost Ryan. She had lost Cole. And now she was losing herself. Every night she scrolled through his blog, his podcasts, the viral clips where strangers reenacted her downfall. She hated him for it. She envied him for it. But most of all, she still loved him. And that was the cruelest punishment of all. Ryan's rise, while Vanessa faded, Ryan grew. The blog that began as therapy became a movement. He was invited to speak on resilience, betrayal, and rebuilding. His story became a blueprint for thousands of people walking through their own hell. And the attention? It didn't just heal him, it made him dangerous. Because now he had a platform, a voice, and a story the world couldn't stop consuming. The hidden chapter, but there was something Ryan hadn't shared. Not with the court, not with the blogs, not even with his closest friends. A folder on his laptop labeled unopened. Inside, emails Vanessa wrote to Cole about future plans, bank transfers to a shared account they had set up in secret, voice recordings where Vanessa admitted this wasn't her first affair, only her first time getting caught. Ryan hadn't released them, not yet, because Ryan understood something most betrayed men never do. The truth is a weapon, and weapons don't have to be fired immediately. Sometimes the greatest power lies in simply knowing you can. One evening, Ryan sat in his new apartment, camera light blinking red. He leaned forward, eyes steady, voice calm. The title of his next video, What she told me after the affair, the hidden truth I haven't shared. Yet, he smiled. Everyone thinks they've heard the whole story. They haven't. And trust me, he paused, leaned closer. The worst is still to come. The video ended. The internet waited. And Ryan Carter, the man who lost everything, was now the man no one could look away from. Vanessa never recovered. Her career was gone, her reputation scorched, her friendships reduced to whispers. She became a shadow of the woman she once pretended to be, forever defined not by her ambition, but by her betrayal. Cole, divorced, bankrupt, professionally blacklisted. His strategic brilliance forgotten the moment his real strategies were exposed. Just another man who thought desire could hide in secrecy, until the truth dragged him into the light. And Ryan? He didn't just survive. He transcended. The man who once lived for routine now lived for impact. His scars became symbols. His story became a weapon against deceit. And his silence, the silence that once suffocated him, became the loudest victory of all. 1 year later, Ryan stood on stage at a packed auditorium speaking to thousands. Behind him, the screen read, "From betrayal to breakthrough." He looked out at the crowd, men, women, strangers who saw themselves in his pain, and said, "When someone betrays you, they think they've written your ending. But endings are just beginnings in disguise. My wife's affair didn't ruin my life. It revealed the truth. And the truth is, I was never broken. I was becoming." The audience erupted. And somewhere, far away, Vanessa scrolled past a clip of his speech. Her hands trembled. Her chest tightened. She realized something far crueler than losing Ryan. He would never think of her again. Because the story of her affair, their story, was no longer hers. It belonged to him. And he had turned it into something indestructible. The camera zoomed in as Ryan left the stage, shaking hands, smiling, living. The screen faded to black with one final line. The worst wasn't that she betrayed him. The worst was that he never needed her again.